Greetings, greetings. I'm going to have a quick look at the subject of handwriting. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's worth working on your skill at handwriting. I mean, if you turn up and you sign your name and it looks great, I mean, I don't know whether that looks great, I've gone and put some flourishes in there, but generally people respect you more and they think, oh, he must be rather good and educated and he probably makes great cakes. So what do we do? How do we go about handwriting proficiently, which is a lovely word? Well, first of all, it's important, you don't have to have a fountain pen. It does not help. This is an extremely cheap one, really. It's only about a tenner. I got it from W.H. Smith, and it works. It works really well. It's got a thick ink. It gives out a thick ink. Thick ink. There you go. It's thick ink, and it writes lovely. It's absolutely lovely. I mean, one has to get used to these things, but the same thing is you can use a regular Bic pen. Hello, I'm a Bic pen. Obviously that's not as thick, but you can get used to them. The idea here, the very first thing, number one thing to do is to find the right pen for yourself. Here's a scribbled down pen, be it a fountain pen or a Bic. That's number one, is find the right pen. It's worth buying various pens and trying them out. That's the first thing, that's the first tip. You need a decent pen, just like if you're a painter and decorator and you have rubbish brushes. Well, it's not going to help even if you do lovely straight lines or wonderful curves. They're going to be a bit messy. So a good pen is worth hunting down and obtaining, which is a lovely word, obtain. Right, good. So when you have started, you want to improve your handwriting. What do? Well, you practice. It's hard work. I mean, what have we got? We've got the alphabet in English, would you believe? Yes, many of us have got the alphabet to a greater or lesser degree. And you simply have to look up in books. Here's a book, I'll draw a book, and it says the alphabet or writing, whatever. You have to start studying it. And what do? Well, you get lined paper. And you simply, either uppercase, which is the larger letters, you start drawing them. I'm doing them very roughly here. I love the letter A because it's got such lovely flourishes and so forth. And you simply start, I mean, if you started with a lowercase a, you would simply, very slowly, draw them. Ideally, you would have two lines, a line above and below, so it will give you the exact height of the letter. Yeah, this is a very simple, very simple A. But if it's drawn correctly, you see with the biro it doesn't flow quite the same, but you can still get it. Yeah, let's go to a B, and so on. So it is a case of actually practicing. It doesn't take much work. The work is in concentrating on getting the right shape, because letters are only curves and lines. They're straight lines, like so. That could be an I, or the upright of an L, yeah? Or it could be, maybe it's a large T, I don't know. But letters are only lines and curves. So you've got those two skills to learn, yeah? Excuse me, it should be right there. So, then what I was going to say, we've got that as a skill to learn how to do these letters. But even before that, there's one more thing. So hang on, let's recap. First of all, you need a decent pen. Right, that's number one. You must have a decent pen. If you've got a rubbish pen, you won't write well. And then secondly, you need reference material. Now this is interesting. Reference material, and I'm doing this in cursive. That's interesting, because when you decide, oh, I want to write well, you have to decide, how do I want to write? I mean, what style? What do I like? And then that brings you to looking up in books other people's handwriting and what's available to be learned. There is the basic writing that I don't think gets written or used in schools much these days is cursive. Let's see if I can actually do cursive. I can't remember. Which is just it's joined up writing, isn't it? Joined up, yeah. Which is the way to write neatly and speedily, yeah. You may want to write, or you like people that write a little bit slanty. He says not slanting at all. There was a day in my life. Yeah, it slants backwards, or it might be absolutely straight. Once upon a time, there was a large jazzy dog. Yeah, and you may want to write, I don't know, your name in cursive, or learn cursive. Excuse me, that was out of the shot. Yeah, so you've got these choices. So first of all, you need the decent pen. You've got to have a decent pen. Then you've got to decide. Let's write that out again. These are important. So, pen, and then what style? What style? So you have to look up those styles of writing that you like. And there are tons of things online, tons of tutorials and so forth that you can study and learn. And I've actually adapted. If I were to write in my own hand, meaning handwriting, I've developed. If I can spell. Developed my own style, and it's a sort of a mixture, really. Sometimes it's a little bit messy, but it's old quick D's which just look nice, and flourishes on the eyes. Now you would start off simply by, if we get a line here, how would you start? Well, you'd have to learn a style to start with, like a cursive or something, which is that joined up writing, or a writing that you've seen that you like, and you would simply say it was a fancy A. You would simply keep, I'm doing this rather quick and a little bit scruffy, you'd simply keep doing this. That's what you do. You keep doing it until, whoopsie, until it starts to look good. I'll get that in shot. And you look closely at it to see, am I getting this right? Would it be nice to bring it below the line? It's funny, O's tend to look good just a little touch below the line. Anyway, I digress there. But what you have to do is actually sit down. Let's choose a D. You would have to do it a little bit slowlier, but one gets used to it. And it's simply that. And then say you wanted to do that sort of old English D, you would continue to practice, and you do that. That's all you do. You do it with the style you've chosen, and you keep going, and before you know it, you can write. You write very well. And when you sign your name, or let's see if I can do this nicely, David William Press. You'll end up looking rather posh. There we are. That looks lovely, doesn't it? Yeah, see, it looks like prey there, but it doesn't matter. But what the general idea, and what I'm trying to impart to you, is that if you have a decent pen, and you choose a style, and you practice, 1, 2, 3, before long you'll have lovely writing. It's not difficult. Get yourself a nice pen, a fountain pen, or a decent biro, plenty of paper, lined paper, and start doing the lowercase letters and the uppercase letters again and again and again. And you can indeed develop your own writing, funny enough. There was this just as an aside, I'll show you something that I love. There's an old way of writing a G, which is partly stolen from a typewriter and partly stolen from Jimi Hendrix. Whoops, I've messed that one up, because he used to write like that, you know. Excuse me. So you could look around and see who does nice letters. Maybe there's a lovely K or a fancy L that you've seen. One of these, you know, you incorporate them into your own style. Anyway, that's the ABC. I hope that helps. It's worth practicing your handwriting, because you will end up, yeah, you say, oh, I'm very proud of myself, I've got lovely writing. So there you go. Love you, bye. Smiley face. Good night.